In the shadowed streets of 1950s Britain, a new kind of teenager emerged. Slick-haired, sharply dressed, and carrying flick knives in their pockets. They weren't just mischief makers. They were the first real youth cult the country had ever seen. Ordinary boys, armed with rock and roll and drape jackets, turned neighborhoods into battlegrounds and sent polite society into a panic. This is the story of the Teddy Boys, Britain's first teenage rebellion. Before mods and rockers, before punks and skinheads, there were the Teds. They didn't just wear their style, they lived it, breathed it, and fought for it. Draped jackets, narrow trousers, crepe shoes, and perfectly greased quiffs transformed working-class lads into figures both admired and feared. But who were these boys behind the bravado? Where did they come from? And why did their rebellion grip the nation? In the next few minutes, we'll explore 10 astonishing truths about the Teddy Boys. How fashion became armor, music became battle cry, and a generation reshaped Britain forever. Along the way, we'll reveal the hidden lives of Teddy girls, the gang wars in shadowed alleys, and the society that could neither tame nor understand them. If you're fascinated by youth culture, fashion revolutions, or Britain's post-war history, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss the stories we have lined up. And if you love this kind of deep dive nostalgia, give the video a like to help us keep uncovering hidden histories. The name Teddy Boy didn't appear out of nowhere. It began with a Savile Row tailor experimenting in 1950, reviving Edwardian fashion. Long draped jackets, narrow trousers, waistcoats with a flourish. What was meant to dress gentlemen like their grandfathers caught the eye of working-class boys in Elephant and Castle, Tottenham, and other estates. They scraped together wages from factory jobs, bought custom versions from backstreet tailors, and suddenly Britain's poor boys looked like aristocrats. These weren't just clothes. They were symbols, armor and identity rolled into one. A proper Ted suit cost 3 months of wages. Velvet collars, satin linings, drain-pipe trousers, crepe-soled brothel creepers, bootlace ties with silver tips. Even the DA haircut demanded half a jar of Brill cream and 20 minutes in front of a mirror each morning. Every detail mattered. This was rebellion wrapped in Edwardian elegance. Everything changed with the arrival of rock and roll. When Rock Around the Clock blasted across British cinemas in 1956, the Teddy Boys went wild. They danced in aisles, slashed cinema seats with flick knives, and riots erupted in 9 cities. Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, streets became chaotic arenas. The authorities tried to ban the music, but it only strengthened their resolve. Enter Elvis Presley. The King's music spoke directly to the frustrations of working-class youth. Teds adopted rock and roll as their anthem against the monotony of post-war Britain. Record shops became gathering points. Dance halls turned into contested territories. Every slow shuffle or swing of the hips could erupt into violence. The older generation, terrified, saw Britain collapsing. The Teds saw freedom and identity in rhythm and rebellion. Yet not all was thrilling escapism. The Notting Hill race riots of 1958 revealed a darker side. Groups of Teddy Boys attacked Caribbean families, throwing petrol bombs and wielding weapons. The violence lasted 5 nights. Some Teds defended their streets, but much of it was racially motivated brutality disguised as gang loyalty. Newspapers branded them Britain's shame, parents panicked, and politicians demanded stricter policing. Even so, many Teds remained fiercely loyal to their communities. South London's Elephant and Castle gang, led by Johnny, a towering figure with fists like hammers, ruled their patch with strict codes. Saturday nights meant battles with rival gangs in Brixton and Clapham, fought with chains, knives, and sharpened improvised weapons. The police often arrived too late. The Teds vanished into the labyrinth of back streets they knew like their own homes. Organization, loyalty, and a sense of family ran deep beneath the surface chaos. If you're fascinated by how fashion and music fueled these teenage revolts, hit the like button and leave a comment with your favorite youth subculture from history. Dance halls became battlegrounds. The Lyceum, Hammersmith Pal, Tottenham Royal, all saw clashes over territory. Girls weren't spectators. They were warriors too. Teddy girls, like Rose from Walthamstow and Mary from Bermondsey, wore draped jackets cut shorter, pencil skirts, rolled jeans, and towering quiffs. They carried hatpins and razors, fought rival gangs, and demanded respect. Society found them even more shocking than the boys. Flick knives became the symbol of moral panic. Italians spring-loaded. Switchblades were cheap, concealed, and terrifying. By 1959, tens of thousands of these weapons circulated in London. Parliament responded with the Restriction of Offensive Weapons Act, police launched stop-and-search operations, and courts handed down harsh sentences. But the culture of toughness didn't die. Teds adapted. Razors, chains, and sharpened combs replaced knives, but the attitude, the swagger, the defiance, the brotherhood remained. Being a Ted wasn't just about violence. It was about working-class pride, identity, and dignity. Leaving school at 15, facing factory jobs, and an uncertain future, these lads crafted a culture where they were respected and feared. Every pose, every step, every jacket reinforced their place in the world. Parents saw wasted potential, politicians saw social problems, but Teds saw brotherhood. Remember to share this video with friends who love music, fashion, or rebellious history. They'll thank you for it. And if you've got any stories of Teds in your family, drop them in the comments. The media loved demonizing them. Minor scuffles became front-page headlines. Arrested Teds were described in full outfit detail, equating fashion with criminality. Television largely ignored them, except for crime reports. Fear, simple and sensational, sold newspapers, and the legend of the Teds grew far larger than reality. By 1964, the original Teddy Boys had largely faded from the streets, their heyday replaced by the rise of mods and rockers, Britain's next wave of youth tribes. But their legacy was far from over. In 1976, when punk music erupted across the country, a remarkable revival of Teddy culture took hold. Men who had once ruled the streets in drape jackets and crepe shoes dusted off their old outfits, bringing the style back to life with a renewed sense of pride. Teenagers, curious and rebellious, discovered the drape jackets, slicked-back quiffs, and bootlace ties for the first time, embracing the fashion and attitude that had once terrified a nation. The revival wasn't just about nostalgia. It was a statement of identity and continuity, a way to reclaim a rebellious heritage amid a new era of music and youth culture. Even today, dedicated clubs and annual festivals, like the Hemsby Rock and Roll Weekender, celebrate the Teddy Boys' enduring influence. Attendees arrive in pristine drape jackets, greased quiffs, and polished crepe shoes, keeping alive the spirit of a generation that once changed British streets forever, blending nostalgia, fashion, and defiance into a living cultural tradition. The Teddy Boys were Britain's first modern teenagers, carving out a space between childhood and adulthood. They were violent, yes, but they were also young men and women striving for identity, pride, and a sense of power in a world that offered them little. Through fashion, music, and camaraderie, they challenged the norms of 1950s Britain, and in doing so, they changed the country forever. Their story endures in festivals, in fashion, in the swagger of a quiff carefully combed and greased. It is a reminder of the first youth culture to defy society on its own terms, to declare that teenage identity mattered, and to show that even ordinary working-class kids could become extraordinary rebels. If you enjoyed this journey into post-war Britain, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and share this video. Let's keep uncovering the forgotten rebels who shaped our world, one story at a time.